final on the book Wonder, which came out February 14th of 2012 and was so popular that it actually aired as a movie last year. This book was by R.J. Palacio and is in the genre of children's literature. The movie has actors including Jacob Tremblay, Julia Roberts, Owen Wilson, Isabel Vidovic, Noah Jupe, and Mandy Patinkin, and a few others. This novel is popular because it addresses the topic that is more so considered the elephant in the room and isn't directly talked about usually. So it allows for the reader or the viewer of the movie to step into the character's shoes and feel as though they might be going through this with Augie. Reading this novel, I think everyone should have to read this novel because it talks about things that aren't talked about, like I said, and it is shown through different perspectives of each character, which allows for the reader or the viewer to see that one story can have so many different views, which I think is really important for people to realize. And it also makes people realize that everyone's bound to go through something, and sometimes you just need a friend, which is what Augie went through. Have you ever wondered why the movie Wonder is so popular? Well, this is because it addresses the topics that are more so considered the elephant in the room and aren't really discussed. This novel allows for the reader to almost step into the characters' lives and feel as though they may be going through these experiences with Augie or Via. I encountered this novel because I was looking for a good book to read and my friend recommended it, so I read it, and I'm very glad I did because it is one of my favorite books and movies because it was so popular it became one. The novel Wonder is under the genre of children's literature, but I think it can really be relevant to any age, and that I genuinely do think that all ages should read this book because it really does give you an insight of what someone is going through and how other people's actions affect them. And this book does have a little boy with a craniofacial disorder, and it may discuss that, but it can be relevant to really anyone, and it doesn't have to be someone with something particularly wrong with the book Wonder relates back to this class. Even though we haven't talked about children's literature directly, it includes drama and humor and historical fiction, which can be related back to our class as we talk about the tropes. And obviously this book will have the tropes from many different genres because they're all kind of included into this, but some of the main things included in children's literature are loss and grief, along with happiness, but the loss and grief are definitely present in this novel because Augie loses his dog, which is his best friend, and the grief part would be how he grieves from losing his dog. And I think that this could really teach other children how to grieve and a safe way to grieve, because some kids don't know that and aren't taught that. So I really do think that this novel helps with that. Thank you for watching my video. I truly do recommend that one reads this novel or even just watches the movie, but of course the book is better. Even though it may not have been talked about in this class, it does follow a lot of the tropes of the other genres included in literature. So by reading this book, one will get a better understanding of this class and appreciate it more.